Hey YouTube, your girl is back. Your girl is back with another video. Well, good Friday, you guys. It is the end of the week, and woo, I had a long week. Work was very busy, you guys. So that's why I was gone for a little while. But I'm back. I'm back to give my final thoughts on Latrese Allen and her family drama. There has been some new things that have popped off, and she went live today, honey. She had a few things to say. So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. As usual, this video will be on my page and uploaded. So if we don't have that many people join today, that is okay. You all be able to watch this replay. Before we start, go ahead and subscribe. Subscribe. If you ain't subscribed, what is you doing? What are you doing? And yeah, turn on your post notifications so you can see when your girl posts. And we just gonna have a little conversation on this Good Friday. And then I'm gonna find me something to eat and enjoy and chill out on this Friday night. But yes, we're gonna get into some things. So hey to the 5 people that's watching, how y'all doing? Make sure you all are subscribed. Before we get into this conversation, I just want to give a disclaimer. Good evening. Hey Elvira. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. I'm so sorry. Miss Harrison. Hey, Miss Harrison. All righty. But yes, disclaimer, while I am going to continue the topic about Latrese and her son, I'm going to talk about this situation lightly because, like I said, I try to bring more of a just a neutral perspective to the platform. So, I'm not going to be going super hard on Latrese. If you all have been watching her lately, you know what happened, and we're going to get into it. I'm not going to go super hard on and be too harsh, but I am going to give my honest opinion about the decision that she made. But we're gonna keep it, light in this chat, honey. We all can disagree, we all can have different opinions, but as long as we all respect each other, we can all be family, honey. Okay, because I know this topic, and the things that have transpired over the last 3 or 4 days with Latrese has definitely been it's been a lot. It has been a lot. So I am here to get into it. Hey, Miss Starling, good evening. Good evening. Thank you all for joining and being with me on this Friday. So yeah, so let's get into it. So the last video, we talked about Latrese and her son getting to it on live and how that turned out to be, child, it turned out to just be sad. I'm gonna be quite honest with you all. Hey, Miss Harris. Hey, Miss Altamise. Hi. How you doing today? Thank you for joining. Yes, ma'am. But yeah, so it turned out to be a little sad. I cannot stand to see families fight. Me being the only child, and fun fact, you guys, I'm the only child. My mom is the only child, and my grandma is the only child. So can you imagine how small my family on my mom's side is? Most of my family comes from like my great grandmother. She had like 8 siblings, I think. So, I have a lot of cousins, but my daddy's side ain't the only child. But on my mom's side, my immediate family, I can imagine how heartbreaking it could be if, we were to ever get into it and have to separate and not speak. So this situation with her child is definitely it's definitely touchy. So I'm gonna tread lightly on it, but I hope they get it together. So, as I was saying, the last we saw Latrice and her son, they were feuding. They were getting into it real bad. She was going live. He was going live. And pretty much, just some background. She basically said the reason why she had to go off on him like that on that live is because when she went to take his phone, of course, we know she felt like he hit her or he put his set up and she went to swinging on him. And so they fallen out. Miss Harris says, I'm the only child. My dad is the only child. Oh, that is so unique. Like I was like, how in the world is it my mom is the only child and my grandmom? That is really coincidence. And then my child is the only child on my side. Yeah. So but yeah, so basically they got into it. They had it out And honey, that saga continued. Everyone was split. Everyone was pretty much, either on his side or hers. Most people were saying that she was dead wrong for even running up on him like that. Even though he is her child, he's still 17 years old. And in the state of Georgia, you're an adult when you're 17. And so she had no business trying to put her hands on him. Some people felt like he was just being disrespectful. And even though she did run up on him, he had no right to be talking the way that he was talking. And I can see it from both sides. She ended up playing the video. She did end up playing the full video. And in the video, you can see them arguing about him being on the phone. She walks into whatever room that he was in, and she pretty much tells him, hey, I've been asking you to do this. You need to put the phone down. And he pretty much talks back and says, my phone ain't got nothing to do with it. He's trying to defend why he's on the phone. She does go towards him, and she looks like she does try to grab the phone, but her fists were balled up. They went into the corner. You hear him screaming, and then of course we saw it all play out. So that was that. Um, and after she played the video, people began, well, probably before she even played the video, they were calling defects already before, but they definitely got the ring of defects line after she played the video. So pretty much because of the ongoing issue with her son, and because everyone was pretty much upset with the way that she spoke to him in their argument, and because of the way that she came at him on that video, they began to ring defects line off the hook. And so Latrese pretty much made the decision to send her children off for a little while until everything calms down. Her justification for it is, you know, she, every time something happens on her live that people don't agree with, they call defects, and they use that as a weapon against her. And so before something happens to where, her children are put in harm's way, she would rather send them away. So that she doesn't have to deal with it. And she would rather get her life together, figure out a game plan, send them away for a little while, and then she'll go, send back for them when everything, I guess, gets in order. So I'm going to get into my perspective on that. And also, she went live today, and Diamond, her ex-friend who she had it out with, I spoke about the video before last, has now linked up with someone who she was feuding with, the D Reigns lady. So we're going to talk about that too. And Ms. Brown said, and they do, so I understand her on that. Yes. So when it comes to Latrese sending her children off, I can see it both ways. Now, me personally, I can't live without my baby. So before I send her anywhere, I would just sacrifice the whole career. But when you are a social media figure and you are a daily vlogger, your children are a part of your vlogs. People see your children on camera. And so it is very hard to, live your life, show all your imperfections, be very transparent with your audience, while at the same time, trying to, make this social media career thing work for you and your children. And so people will start to maliciously call defects, and that can be very nerve-wracking. So while I would not have sent my children away, I still am not going to judge her or look at her sideways. I just hate that it had to come to that. And so it sparks a bigger conversation. It's like, okay, I feel like what she should have done was maybe take a break. Cause I mean, she makes some good money on Facebook. She has posted statements where she's definitely made over $100,000 in a month. Me personally, I would have probably taken a little break, sat down and figure out, how I can continue this while still having my children a part of my daily life. That's just me. But I can't say that it is not stressful to be doing the best that you can to provide for your children. And the way they eat is for you to show what goes on with them and you on a daily basis, and to have people put that in jeopardy on a daily basis, it has to be a lot of pressure. So a lot of people were upset with her. A lot of people, of course, because that's something that we don't see the average person do. So a lot of people were upset with her. um Jaleesa says, I pray they come together soon. I do. I pray that this all comes to an end, because while I, like I said, I wouldn't have sent my children anywhere. I would have just said, bump it. I'm gonna have to put this phone down for a little while and figure out what I'm gonna do next. But I mean, this is how she eats. Social media is how she provides for them, and if people are literally sending people to her house every day, and her address has been leaked, people, there ain't no telling what people got brewing for her. People really hate her. And so if she feels like her children are in danger, who are we to judge her decision to protect them? So I'm conflicted on it. I can see both sides, because like she said, every time people see my children, they call defects. Every time I get on here and I say something or I give my opinion and it's unfavorable, defects is called. And so what happens if my children are playing and they hurt themselves and they have a stretch, and one of my haters call defects, and then they think I did something to them, and now my children are in strangers home. So before I do that, I would just send them with family. And like I said, it's not a decision that I would have made, but I understand her logic. I just hate it even had to come to this. Miss Darlene says, I know how evil people are. That's why I told my daughter to get her daughter off her lives. Did you see the other lady was on live with Treese last night that called on that lady kids too? She was crying. Yeah. They even called on Latrese's one of her friends. She was promoting one of her friends. I guess it was like a promo video, and her friends, I don't know what it was, but I guess her friend, she's trying to do the social media thing too. And her friend had a baby that was her son was kissing her on the cheek a lot, and people called defects on her and made it seem as if she was being inappropriate with her child. And so I get that at the end of the day, your children come before anything. So at the end of the day, if social media is putting your children in danger, you may have to sacrifice social media. But why do people feel as if it's okay to use defects as a weapon against people just because you don't like them? That is so evil. Like, if you don't like somebody for being a grown person, then don't like them for being a grown person, but don't involve their children, because we all grown. The reason why I say if you don't like somebody for being a grown person, we're all grown. Whatever you choose to do as an adult, that is what you choose to do, and it affects nobody but you and the people that are in your household. And so at the end of the day, as long as if I don't see anyone hitting their kids, abusing their kids, if I don't see anyone putting their children in danger's way, I just would never in my life call defects on somebody. I've had enemies, honey. I've had my share of enemies. And I've had an enemy that was, in my opinion, not the best mom. But I still would never call defects on her, because who wants to see children taken away from their mama? It says people are so damn evil, they do it to hurt them. And it's sad. Exactly, it's sad, because on one note, we can all sit up here and we can all say that it wasn't the best decision for her to send her children off, and it wasn't. But at the end of the day, what do you do when people are literally calling defects on you every single day just because they don't like you? And like I said, while the situation with her and Courtney was very toxic, and they definitely need some help, they need to go and sit down and talk to somebody. Maybe not a counselor, but they need to have a family member come in and mediate, or they need to just talk and figure out how they can get past it. Because Latrese said she's not going to counseling, but you know um I just, what happened with him and her, I just wouldn't see that as a situation to call defects. I wouldn't, because like I said, it goes there with family. When you're raising children, especially teenagers, it gets ugly. It got ugly with my mama when I was a teenager. We've had plenty of knockdown dragouts. And I just couldn't imagine if someone heard me and my mama arguing. And so now my little brothers and sisters are in jeopardy of being placed in the care of strangers because they don't like the way me and my mama got into it. It says she think everybody not here, everybody she bring her no good for her, her kids. Yeah, she needs to really, really be careful who she brings around. Oh yeah, she said. I mean, she thinks everybody her friend. I'm praying for her too, honey. And like I said, my advice for her to be, girl, don't bring nobody else in your circle. Okay? If they not your day ones, if they not people who you've known, for a long time, I would not make any new friends. I understand what this whole social media thing, it's all about networking and, marketing and, collaborating. And so I understand her mindset behind wanting to, make friends and stuff because, I mean, we're human. We like companionship, right? But, at this point, I don't even encourage her to get no man. Like, you need to just really sit back and figure out how you can maneuver on this platform and make your living without, having for it to always be something with the people being malicious. And don't get me wrong, Latrese, she has definitely overshared. I feel like, even with the situation with her and Coco, that situation, I wouldn't have been so quick to put the camera in his face and show everybody who he was. So she has not made the best moves or the decisions. But that doesn't give anybody the right to use defects as a weapon. Miss Harrison says she do need to watch out. Everybody's not her friend. Everybody's not her friend, and we're gonna get on that topic as well. So, Latrese also went live today, and she spoke about how now it seems as if Diamond and the godmama lady, and y'all forgive me, I don't know what the godmama lady name was. I never caught her name. Um, it says, well, we all had people in our own life that we was thinking was a friend, but now God is showing them up her too. Now, yeah, we've all had our share of people who we had to cut out. Um, and as a normal person who nobody knows, that can be very dangerous, bringing people around who you're not your friends. So just imagine this lady is posting how much she making on public platforms. She gonna have to really tighten up her circle, because somebody could really, really get in there, pretend to be her friend, and really, hurt her. Because, honey, these people who she been linking with, they've been falling out left and right. And I just don't get it. At this point, I wouldn't trust a soul, honey. But yeah, so her and Diamond basically, they fell out, and now Diamond, I guess, has seemingly joined forces with the godmama lady, and now they trying to, promote D Reigns. Now, you all forgive me. Oh, Miss Alabama. Okay, Miss Alabama was the godmama name. Okay, good. So Miss Alabama and Diamond, I guess they have linked up on the side, and they're, also talking to, I seen on Diamond's page, she was sharing D Reigns and promoting D Reigns. Now, y'all gotta forgive me. I don't know much about the history with her and D Reigns, but from what I can gather, I guess D Reigns was once a follower of Latrese. I don't know if her and Latrese were cordial or something. But when Latrese and Coco had the whole knockdown drag out, I guess D Reigns went over to join forces with him, or I don't know if him and D Reigns started dating. I don't know the dynamics of what happened, but long story short, D Reigns was somebody who she was beefing with. Okay, and when she was beefing with D Reigns on the internet, Diamond was right there backing her up. And Diamond shared the same sentiments that Latrice shared about D Reigns, and she also said that Miss Alabama, she had her opinion about Diamond when Latrice and Diamond were going through it. She actually played a recording where Miss Alabama was calling Diamond bored and stuff like that. So pretty much Latrice went live today, and she pretty much just pointed out that now that all this stuff is going on with her son. Everybody mad at her because she had to, she sent her kids off for a little while and all of that. Now Diamond, and I guess Miss Alabama are now consulting with D Reigns. Darlene says, sorry to say, but they was all snakes. Yeah, they were all snakes, because I'm giving Diamond a side eye. Like I said, Latrice by far is not perfect. And I'm pretty sure that she had some toxic ways as a friend. But here's the thing about it. When I'm your friend, I'm your friend. And when we fall out, I'm not going to change my morals and values or what I stand for just because we fell out. And if I sit up here and if I talked about this lady with you and I dogged her out with you, I'm not gonna go run and be her friend just because, me and you are not speaking. And honestly, they too old for this. I mean, this is just common sense. I'm 28. And I know the code. I mean, these women are old enough to be, well, I don't know. I think Latrese is maybe like 38, almost 40. I don't know. And this is not me age shaming at all. I'm just saying, um, this is something that, just grown women, they don't do. Miss Brown said exactly all of them was on Tree said exactly all of them was Tree said at one point. Yeah, Tree said all of them sat around and talked about the people that she was beefing with. So it's mighty funny that now Latrice and Diamond are no longer friends. Now you promote somebody who she was beefing with. Like, come on. Come on now. Jaleesa says everybody turn on her. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. And I know some people gonna listen to them and they're gonna be like, oh my God, y'all just feel like Latrice. Listen, I am the first one to say that Latrice, she has some adjustments she needs to make. She's not perfect and she very well could have contributed to the downfall of her friendships. But Diamond, this lady gave you a platform to make money. This lady buried your son. She buried your son for you. Do you know? And I don't know what her and everyone don't have intention. Just because you give somebody some money don't mean they owe you their life. But if you if someone ever if that was me and it was my son that passed away and my friend stepped up and she paid for the funeral expenses, if we fell out after that, okay. But I would never, ever, 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 ever get on the internet and then try to be petty with a person who we both didn't like. I would not do that. And this is the thing. Latrice did kind of expose Diamond. She did, expose the fact that they were sleeping together, and that was probably hurtful to Diamond. So, Diamond, I'm not saying that Diamond doesn't have a right to feel a way about Latrice, because she definitely does, regardless of if Latrice paid for her son's funeral or not. If they had a sexual or romantic relationship and Latrice basically aired out to the world that she didn't want her and that she didn't have the best hygiene, that is hurtful. So I wasn't with Latrice on that one when she did that. And so if Diamond was upset about that, you have every right to be upset, but just be a woman and say that. Be a woman and say that. Instead of coming on your platform trying to act like you unbothered and trying to just pretend like it ain't going on, just speak on it and just say, hey, Latrice, you know what? I don't like what you did to me. I don't like that you said those things about my hygiene. I don't like that you told the world that we were sleeping together. Just do that. But to go and link up with people who darn well you was talking about too and dogging out just for the sake of making Latrice mad, come on now. What great win, y'all. Darlene said her no teeth ass act like that's the wrong with what she did. And then you took that girl gun. Treese only did that after she got bad. But I understand what you're saying. Yeah. And this is the thing, Diamond. Not only did she pay for your son's funeral, she let you borrow her weapon that you never returned. And if Latrice wasn't who she was, I mean, in the streets, that's something that you pull up on somebody over. You pull up on somebody about that type of stuff. So this lady gave you a platform to where you're probably monetized. I'm pretty sure you are. So she put you on game on how to make money off of social media. She gave you the platform because we wouldn't know who you were if it wasn't for her. Let's just be real. you know and then on top of that, she pays for your son's funeral. And then she lets you borrow her weapon. You don't return it. And then you got the nerve to come on here trying to play games with people who you was talking about too just to get back at her. Come on now, Diamond. That ain't real. Jaleesa say, I hope she learned that she can't help everybody, can't call everybody your friend. That's right. Shaquana says she can't help everybody, that she can't. And first baby mama said, right. Hey y'all, thank y'all for joining. But yes, definitely. And like I said, I think Latrice's issue is, she likes to have fun. Like I said, she's one of those fun loving people who like to have friends. And she feels like, if you're my friend, let's rock together, let's have each other back, let's grind. And sometimes that it doesn't go that way. Everyone can't be the same type of friend. Sometimes you have to have those. Some people are just associates. Some people, they fun, they funny, you know what I'm saying? When you get together, y'all can have a good kiki. But would you want to incorporate them into your daily routine and your daily life and let them know all your dirty secrets? No. So I think she needs to learn the power of discernment, and who to bring around and who to not bring around. Most definitely. Most definitely. And it's first I'm gonna say so true. Yeah, it's I got people who are, I meet a lot of people. I work in, well, I ain't gonna say where I work at, but I work in a large environment. If you're from Macon, you probably know where I work. You probably can guess if you're from my hometown and you listen to this. But I work in a place where there are a lot of people. Now, of course, we at home because of COVID, so we work from home. But when I was in office, I came across a lot of nice people, a lot of talkative people, a lot of people that I had a lot of things in common with. But I was very, very, very selective about who I, led into my personal life. Some people we can talk at work, we can keep it, we can keep the conversation light. And then some people I actually gave them my phone number and we can talk on the phone about personal things. But you just have to know, who you can do that with and who you have to, kind of keep at an arm's distance. But yeah, you guys. So, that I just want to come on here real quick and say that, I really, really hope that she's able to really figure out a game plan. Like I said, when it comes to her business, stop trying to include your friends in your business, Latrese. If, like I said, find you a professional staffing company, run extensive background checks, get you some security if you need to get some security. Um, you know, and I know it's hard to trust people when you're that popular, because it's kind of like she's social media famous. And so social media famous is kind of like different from mainstream celebrities, because you still have to live a daily life. Like you still have to go to the grocery store. You still have to, do regular people things. So it's not like you're Beyonce or somebody and you got the resources to have all these personal assistants and stuff. So she still has to be a normal person and maneuver through life. And so it can be scary trying to bring strangers in. So I get why she wants to keep everything with her friends, but I feel like her trying to include her friends in on her business is what really ruined everything. Hey, baby mama number two, how you doing today? Miss Darlene says, I learned my lesson. My friend over 20 years cut me in the neck. Oh my God. I'm so sorry to hear you had to go through that. Goodness. It says, I'll never in my life mess with her again, so I know how trees feel. Goodness, yeah. Jaleesa says she needs a break from everything. She does. She needs a break from everything. Um, and that's what I would do. Like I said, I feel like, she has a lot going. Running a business can be very stressful. It can be. And so, a lot of times, even though you're making a lot of money, when you have invested so much of your money into a business, it takes money to make money, right? And so, sometimes you can't just sit down and, think through. That's one of the downsides of being an entrepreneur. When you are the brand, you are your income, you getting up and putting people in your business and in your face every day. That's what generates, the money to pay your bills. It can be very hard to disconnect, but she has got to pull back. Got to pull back. If I made $100,000 a month off Facebook, I take me a little week or so hiatus every now and then, just to get my life in order, just to, tend to my kids, just to really tap into real life. Um, Miss Darlene says, and I'm so sick of Coco. That's all he do is talk about trees every day. He's not a real man. I'm sorry, y'all. Somebody call me. One second. My bad, you guys. Oh, baby mama too said hit the like button. Yes, honey, hit the like button, you guys. Thank you for the support, girly. But yes, I had been said that about Coco. The fact that he got on here and bragged about using her for money, that let you know right there. what type of man he is, because people had their opinion about their breakup, and Latrese did get on here and she did, kind of expose some of his personal business, and she wasn't all the way right either. But at the same time, as a man, your whole motive was to come use her. So had you not been using her and being in her face, being this, being not genuine, and basically trying to play her for her pocketbook, then none of it would have happened. So a lot of people got mad at Latrese because, she, with the whole breakup situation with Coco, because, she kind of went, she brought it to the internet pretty much. But, this man literally sat on his live and said that she was a paymaster and he was using her. And you have women over there rooting for him just off the sake that they don't like Latrese. And to me, that is crazy, because I am never gonna co-sign a man using a woman. That is not it. I'm not gonna co-sign nobody using nobody. We're all adults, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody have the same 24 hours. And if you don't really feel, if you ain't really feeling somebody, you just, go on about your business, because that's how people get hurt. Mr. Arlene says exactly. And okay, that's how people get hurt. Stop, you don't do that, especially as a man, and times are different. Everybody have different belief systems, but for the most part, in majority households, the man is looked at as the head of the household. The man is the protector. He's the one that's gonna fix it if something break. He's the one that everyone kind of looks to for comfort, the wife and the children, or whoever. And so, if you're sitting back waiting on the woman to to take care of you, and while you sit back and don't do nothing, well, what, how are we supposed to respect you? No. So yeah, I wasn't definitely feeling Coco. Like I said, I don't know him personally, so I'm not saying that he's a bad person, but I wasn't feeling what he did to Treese, because that wasn't right. And this is the thing, so people on social media got to stop doing. Just because you don't like someone, that doesn't mean that everything that happens to them is automatically right. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you may not like someone doesn't mean that you cannot still acknowledge when they have been done wrong. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Like my mama always say, my mama, that's her favorite line. Right is right, right is right, and wrong is wrong. And so, my dislike of a person is not going to skew my ability to understand that something is literally wrong or right. If someone who I didn't like, if they got hit by a car today and the person who was driving the car maliciously ran them over, it's wrong. Regardless of the way I feel about the person who was hit by the car, if you get in your car and if you run into somebody intentionally to hurt them, you're wrong. And so it's that same concept. And I think that what goes on social media today is, because people are not perfect, and because people make mistakes, and they, are not everyone's favorite, people kind of turn a blind eye to, the messed up stuff that happens to them on social media. And that's, and I think that people don't, that's why I created a platform to kind of, bring some, realistic content to it, reactions. Not saying that, there's a lot of people, like I said, there's a lot of people that do a good job. Like TMR, oh, I love her. Like she gives you a realistic point of view that is not one-sided. It's always from a neutral, or even if she's not neutral, even if she leans towards the side of one person over the other, she comes from a morally correct place, so it's easy to receive. But when you have some people that, they can't, they can't sit back and separate, okay, even though I may not care for this person, that was wrong. When you can't, be a woman enough or man enough to do that, then yeah. It says, me neither, nor one beating a woman. Yeah, like she played the video of him putting his hands on her. And so, my thing is, everybody's sitting on here outraged about what happened to with her and her son, when everyone knows that, there are some parents who believe in physical discipline, whether we feel like it's right or wrong. I'm not saying that you should still be physically disciplining your 17-year-olds. I'm not saying that it's right to still put your hands on your 17-year-olds as a form of discipline. But what I'm saying is everyone is so outraged about what transpired with her and her son, but yet, we watched the whole video of Coco running up on her about to knock her head off, and everyone made a million excuses of why that was right. Or they just completely overlooked it and didn't say anything about it. Like after we saw him running up on her like that, no woman should have been on this platform defending Coco. And now I'm grown. I know when you're in relationships, arguments get heated. But you better throw a chair or something at the wall or something, but don't run up on me. Okay? Because I'm called a popo. But yeah. So that's what I'm saying. And then that's a prime example. Here it is. She's got into it with her son. It's got physical, it's got nasty. And they calling defects, and they trying to get her kids removed all because of that. But why wasn't nobody trying to figure out how to, I mean, not saying that it would have been right, but why nobody wasn't calling nobody on Coco for putting his hands on trees? Miss Darlene said, exactly. I agree. Yeah. And I'm not saying that, he should be in jail. Because, like I said, I don't know him and I don't know the dynamics of their relationship. But all I'm saying is we gotta, as African American community, I'm just gonna keep it real. As Black people, we gotta do better when it comes to supporting each other. We can say, hey, I watched this person and child, this happened and I don't agree with that. We can say it in love, but to be hateful and be calling defects on somebody, so because you don't like what they doing, come on now. This lady get on here and her kids be eating better than me some days, and like I said, does she has room to grow as a parent? I'm pretty sure every parent has room to grow. I mean, parenting does not come with a handbook, and so she definitely probably can make some adjustments that can be more beneficial to her children. Most definitely, but does that make her a terrible parent? Does that mean that her children don't deserve to be with her? No, that doesn't mean that. I feel like all of those children deserve to be with her because she is their mom. She is providing for them and she's trying her best. She just has some things that she has to learn along the way, as we all do. First baby mama say amen. Miss Orlean said they eat good every day. Okay. Them kids be eating blue crab legs, spaghetti, lasagna. I mean, they be over there eating better than me. Okay. And we know, but it takes more than just feeding your kids some good stuff to be a parent. But to me, in my opinion, she don't deserve to get her kids taken. Miss Cece says, completely over. Yeah, they overlooked that like hell, Miss Cece. They overlooked that. I'm talking about they weren't even outraged. Y'all outraged when y'all see her form of discipline, which is toxic, but it was discipline at the end of the day. Y'all outraged by that, but y'all weren't outraged when Coco was swinging on them. So if we're not gonna be upset, if that video of Coco running up on her in that warehouse, if that didn't trigger people, then don't be triggered by this situation with her and her son. Pray for them and let's just hope they get it together, because at the end of the day, this will pass. This too will pass. They said it in the Bible. I ain't trying to go to church on y'all, but I'm just saying everything will pass. And that's what I think people forget. When the cameras go off, when Latrese puts her phones down and when she hits that end live, at the end of the day, this child is still her son. And I'm not saying that family is an excuse to be toxic, because a lot of people be like, that's still your mama, that's still your daddy. No, as Black people, or anybody, and like I said, I'm just speaking because I'm Black, but in the Black community, we do have to do a better job of creating more nurturing environments for our children, because they're having a lot of generational curses that have been passed down. However, I'm sorry, sometimes some of that stuff that our mama them did when we was little, some of it was necessary. First baby mama say preach sister. Baby mama number two says her kids got taken. No, she sent them to live with the boys. Yes, they are gone, Miss Jaleesa. Yes. The boys are gone with their grandmom in Florida, and the little girl is with her godmom in Atlanta still. She sent them away because people are consistently calling defects. And she's even been staying in a hotel. She doesn't, want to go home. She basically saying that she sent them away because, after the situation happened with her and Courtney, she's just trying to protect them before something happens. And she was like, as long as people see her kids, they're gonna always call defects. They're gonna always do something evil. So before something gets out of control, she would rather just send them somewhere for a little while and she'll be back for them. Now, would I have done that? No, but I can understand where she's coming from. Hey D, hey girl, hey D. Everybody go over to and subscribe to Mink Mob D, honey. That's my girl. CC's life says my youngest is 21 and I'm still learning to be better and better every day. That's what life is, learning, growing. Exactly. That is what life is all about, learning and growing. And, like I said, people need to stop trying to pick and choose what you're going to be outraged about. You know, y'all over here calling defense because this lady and her son got into it, but y'all didn't say nothing when that man was going upside her head. And that's just not right. But yeah, I hate that I hate that she felt that she had to send her kids away because like I said, I would have just abandoned the whole social media career before I send my kids anywhere. I'm finna just say, you know what, I may have to figure this thing out, okay, because I can't live without my baby. It says right. Oh yes, D says thank you. It's a support for me. Yes, honey, we gotta support each other most definitely. You did a wonderful thing by reposting me on your page, so I have most definitely. I'm gonna tell them every time. Go follow Mink Mob D, honey. She been real from the beginning. Now you got me catching up the situation. Yes, honey. This is a situation, honey. This is a situation, D girl. Latrese, she has the haters, honey. They coming for her, and they got her over there discombobulated, and she having to make all type of decisions. I hate that for her. Jaleesa says, I hate the kids gone. It says she not living in her house. Yeah, like, and that's what I'm saying. If she sent her, the reason why I'm not judging her for sending her kids off, even though I would not have done that, is if she sent them off and then she was still, laying around, whatever. Okay, I'd have been like, well, girl, what's going on? But you could even see that she is at a hotel sometimes. I think the other day when she was at her home, when the clean lady came, she said she had her guy friend there with her. So I think that she is thoroughly scared for her life, even though it's hard. See, Latrese is someone who's very strong minded. She's very opinionated. So people really forget that she's human like anybody else. But if she's scared to lay her head at her house, just imagine how scary it is having to think about somebody maybe doing something to your kids. Um, Mink said, "Child, they call CPS on me." I said, "Well, shit, let them come." Exactly. Honey, these people on the internet are ruthless. Like, why do people feel like they can use CPS as a weapon? She said, I'm gonna put them on live too. Yep. And that's what Latrese do, honey. She put them on live every time. She put them on live every time. But what she was saying was, she just scared because, she do got kids that run, jump, and play. And she said, defects is getting fed up. She could tell they getting tired. And she just don't want to get to a point where, they make the decision to take the kids off of something small all because they sick of her. Like I said, me, before I do that, I would just shut down my whole everything to be with my kids. But can't judge her because, like I said, when you're a social media influence and this is the way that you survive, it's hard. Darlene says, I sent my 7-year-old away right in a damn group home, and when the court told them it was too much for me, I was not a bad mom. Yeah, it definitely doesn't make her a bad mom. It definitely doesn't make her a bad mom, even though it's something. It's a decision that a lot of people would not have made. I definitely don't think she's a bad mom. I think she's like anybody else. She just has to figure out what works for her. Mink says she is. I reached out to her a few months ago. Yeah. She's definitely not a bad mom at all. Like I said, if she was a bad mom, her children were taken before. And she did what she had to do to get them back. And a lot of people, I personally have seen this with my own two eyes. And hold on, y'all. My child in here, speaking of kids, honey, my child in here talking about ouch. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. Had to go check on my child. She talking about some ouch. But what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. But yeah, she's not a bad mom. She's definitely not a bad mom. It says, I hope she finds some peace. Yes, I hope she do too. Oh, yes, that's what I was saying. I knew somebody, my ex, like I said, I ain't trying to be shady, but my ex, I ain't even gonna say who it was. I ain't even gonna say who it was. I knew somebody that didn't have custody of their children and they didn't care to get them back. Did they get their kids here and there? Yeah, they got them, and they got them, and they babysitting them. They babysitting, and it wasn't my ex, y'all. It wasn't him, but it was somebody he knew. But yeah. But I did that person who I knew through him, they didn't care. They was like, well, I'll come get them and keep them, and they kept a relationship with their kids. But as far as getting their children back in their custody every single day, no, they never cared to do that. And so the fact that she fought to get her kids back shows you that she's trying. So my thing is, you can't, like I said, raising kids, it does not come with the handbook. Darlene says, I think she's scared too, but it's sad. She's going through this. My heart hurt for her. Sometimes when she go live, I cry. Yeah, it's sad to watch because I can just imagine the anxiety behind it. Like I can just imagine. I remember when my child was a little bitty baby, we lived in Atlanta. And because my baby daddy, we met at college and I moved to Atlanta with him, and of course we didn't work out. And so yeah, I had to, I was like, luckily my mom lived in Atlanta. And so I was able to live with her for a little while. But, it was like, okay, it's time for me to be an adult and figure out what I'm going to do with my life. And there was a lot of anxiety for me because me and him were getting into it. And he's a good guy now. My baby daddy he's a wonderful person now. But back then, we used to get into it all the time. And so a lot of times I would be on edge, not knowing if he gonna pop up and we're gonna get into it. And so I was just ready to move. I just up and I moved back to my hometown, and it was the best decision I ever made. I could have stayed in Atlanta. There's a lot of opportunity in Atlanta, and so I could have stayed there. I definitely could have, but we all have to make certain decisions when it comes to our children if we feel like we're doing what's best for their safety. My bad, y'all. My bad, y'all. But it says, I understand how she felt about her son on his phone all the time. My daughter 10 had to get her phone took. She act like she can live without it. Yeah. My daughter she's 7. And I told her, honey, girl, if you come up in here act like you don't know how to spell these words on this spelling test, but you sitting up in here on this phone, going to every YouTube and everything. If I see you do that one more time, if you bring one more spelling test that ain't at least 80 or better up in here, you gonna give me that phone. Mink says if she doesn't have a stable place to live, then I get why she let her go. No, Mink, she actually does. She actually has like a $400,000 house. She does. Like she has a stable place to live. It's just that everyone keeps sending defects there every day. And so she's basically saying like they leaking her address. Pretty much the same thing to do with Keisha. The same thing to do with Keisha. Leaking her address, um sending defects over there, all type of stuff. So she's just basically saying it's so many people after her right now. Yeah, she feels like she wanted to send them away just to protect them. Mink says I would have went on the run though. Yeah, I would have just been like, you know what, y'all, I'll be back. Me and my children gonna have to find somewhere else to go relocate or something, and we gonna have to figure it out. But y'all like Burnett says, hello, everybody. What's up? What's up, Miss Burnett? Hey. And Mink says her kids are older, so it might be different. Yeah, her kids are a little bit older than mine. So, and then, she has four children total, and, they have family and things of that nature. I know my family is smaller. So my dynamic is, I never been out without my child ever. Like the longest she's ever been gone from away from me um it's not 2 weeks with her dad for the summer, but even then I was going crazy. So her dynamic is different. So we can't really judge her on what she did, because like I said, I could not imagine being in her shoes. You know, I've had to pack up and move because I just didn't feel like I was in the best environment before. So I get it. Miss Jolene said, yeah, she got a house. Yeah, Latrese, she just bought a house. Actually, she bought a house. She got some land. But because of everybody's so upset with her about what happened with her. But yeah, because everybody is so upset with her about what happened with her son. They are sending people to her house every day. Alive and Prosper says, I wouldn't ever send my kids anywhere. She just disrupted their schooling and everything. I mean, yeah, like I said, it's something that I would not have done either. Like I said before, I would have sent my kids away. I would have just said bump the whole social media thing and went ghost for a little while. But I can't judge her or call her a bad mom for that, because it's easy for everyday people, who don't have to deal with. I don't have to deal with, nobody has ever called defects on me. So if you have people calling defects on you every day and leaking your address, I can't imagine what type of mindset that puts you in. So I think she made a rash decision, trying to think about her kids' safety. Mink says, "Oh my God, my son irks my soul with the game. He came out the house with no shoes on and no book bag, but the switch in his hand. I almost called CPS on my damn self." Okay. Oh, them and them phones, honey, them electronics. It's like, and I want to get her a iPad or something for Christmas, but honey, I be about to lose my mind. Put that phone down. I feel where Latrice was coming from when she said, "Put that phone down." Girl, I felt that in my soul, because it be like sometimes we be getting out in the car. That's why when we go to the stores now, I make my daughter leave her phone in the car, don't bring it at all. Because literally she'll be walking through the parking lot with me. And of course, I'm holding her hand and watching her, but still, you're walking through a parking lot on your phone, not paying attention. Like, no, what if somebody pulls out or tries to snatch you or anything? Like, girl, because even though I hold your hand everywhere we go, your daddy may just let you run free. And so, dads are more relaxed. And so, you got to get off that phone. Alive and Prosper said, did she ever apologize to Courtney? Her lives are so long, I can't keep up. Jaleesa says, how did they link her address? Basically Coco. Well, I ain't gonna say Coco did it. They were saying Coco did it. I don't know if he did it, but when she was into it with Coco, she moved right around the same time, and then her address got leaked. Alive and Prosperous, her lives be so long. I feel you, girl. I can't watch out. I can't watch them either. I don't think she apologized, because she is standing firm on she did what she had to do. She doesn't feel like she was wrong, so I don't think she apologized. Darlene says, you get people address, and somebody said Coco was the first one to put it out. Yeah, they said that. They did say so. Allegedly, you guys, Coco was the one who leaked it, but I'm not sure. Ming said, it's the morning time for me, girl. It is the morning time, honey. I be about my child. I be about to lose my mind. Mink says, yes, get out that damn phone. It's a reflex. Free Latrice. Okay. Okay. And because it will drive you crazy. And as a parent, you have the right to discipline your child. And so, like I said, I felt where she was coming from. It was toxic because he is 17. So, you can't be. And when they get to a certain age, you're going to have to learn that you can't be whipping on them. But, man, oh, excuse me, you guys, I burp. But, man, please, honey. Who that phone will drive me crazy. I know I done got my belt plenty of mornings about that phone. Cause you've been up all night on that phone. Now you don't want to get up. That's why I make my child put that phone up before you go to sleep for school. And sometimes she'll still sneak it in the bed with her. No, ma'am, put that phone up. Darlene said, I believe he did it. Yeah, I believe it too. Mink says I have to watch more of her. Girl, and she said to get into it. Yes, girl, you gotta watch her. She's on Facebook, so she's not really on YouTube as much, but she's on Facebook and she is the real comedian. She spells her comedian Comedienne. Latrese Allen. Girl, she is a trip. Like I said, she's not your traditional, you know, prim and proper, she good at two shoes, but she gives you real raw. Everything she do ain't right, but she's a good person. You can tell she has a good heart. She said, yes, me too. I make my son give me all the electronics. And all this, I can't imagine my son at 17. Exactly. I can't imagine my child at 17. I may be just like Latrese, okay? Because at 7 years old, honey, I'll be ready to catch a case. So I know at 17, and then when they get to talking back, because I think what upset her from watching the video, and this is not me saying she was right for hitting him, but from watching the video, she was just saying, hey man, put the phone down. You got to put the phone down. And I heard him say, that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Hold on, y'all, my child coming. Hold on, you guys, I'll be right back. Sorry about that, y'all. It says, and I seen two YouTube channels put her address out there too, and went in on them. Yeah, people on YouTube were putting her address out. They were. Mink says I'm cool with real. Mm-hmm. And Mink says 17, it might get crazy. I'm sorry. Yeah, it might get crazy. What she displayed on that live is the same thing that we have all seen growing up in the black household. The majority of us. I know some of us got lucky, and we had those parents Okay, I'm back, y'all. I'm sorry, I got frozen, y'all. Um, Shaquana Adams says, I knew Diamond was fake. She only came around Trees to eat and have money in her pocket. I think, um, I think make it make sense. Diamond needs to give Trees her stuff and pay her back for whatever she did. That's right. That is right. That is right. Darlene says, yes, I said the same thing. I never liked her from day one. Yeah, I think that Diamond is definitely displaying some I don't like what she's displaying. I get that, her and Latrice may have fell out and they had a romantic relationship. So ain't no telling what went down. Um, in their friendship behind the scenes that we don't know about, because this is the thing, they took it to another level. Not only was Diamond around Latrice, and Latrice has all this money and this fame, and she can put her on too. But then on top of that, they messing with each other too. So it's a lot going on in that situation right there. And so yeah, I don't get good vibes from Diamond now, because at first I thought that Diamond was the one true friend that Latrice had, but yeah, it's not looking good for Diamond. It's not looking good for Diamond, because for you to go and link up with someone who you were talking about, because this is the thing about it. I know what people are going to say. People are going to say, well, Latrice came on live and said that Diamond, stuff ain't fresh. So, that wasn't right either. Latrice was talking mess about Diamond. I know that's what people going to say. That's what they going to holler. And like I said, if Diamond felt some type of way and she then went on live and started to talk about Latrice, she would not have been wrong. But for her to go try to build a relationship with D Reigns, knowing darn well that her and Latrice, they have both talked about D Reigns before together, and she was dogging D Reigns out right along with Latrice. And when Latrice was going live and when she was popping her stuff about D Reigns, she was, Diamond was right there to back her up every single time. For you to then try to join forces with her and to try to promote her channel, and so y'all can keep this thing growing, yeah, that's a little fake to me. I'm sorry. That's just not real. That's not how the real people do it. I just feel like, you can fall out with your friends. You can get your friends all on live, because listen, Latrice does go live and she does expose a lot of the personal dealings that she has with her friends. So if they want to respond on the public platform, they have every right to. I'm not saying that they can't do what she does. What I'm saying is, this lady paid for your son's funeral at the end of the day. Come on now. The least you owe her is to, either speak on the situation with you and her and be raw and real, just like she was about it, or, just keep it moving. But don't go link up with her enemy. Don't do that. That's just crazy. First day mom say fake for, yeah, that's fake. That's fake. Me and my friends, we can have plenty knockdown drag outs. One thing I'm not gonna do, I'm not gonna go find someone who, they are beefing with, or who they've had a real issue with. Like, it got serious between her and the D Reigns lady, just like it gets serious with anybody who she gets into it with. But it was, that, it was a lot going on with them. And I don't care what you say. I don't care if you had a change of heart or whatever. Ain't no way you sat over there with Latrice and you dogged D Reigns out, and now you and D Reigns are on Facebook promoting each other. Ain't no way. Fake. So yeah, I had rocky feelings about Diamond, but I just thought I was being judgmental, just based on her persona that she displayed, you know. Because everybody kind of knows somebody like Diamond. Everybody have that, when you know how it be. I got iffy vibes from her in the beginning, but then I was like, well, she's been around and Latrice keeps bringing her back around, so maybe she is a good friend. But we have to remember, she probably kept her around because they became romantically involved, and so they, it gets deeper then. But yeah, So let's solicit the prayer warriors for Latricia, guys. Let's just hope that this gets better for her because I really hate this. Like I said, I have a soft spot for the underdog. I just do. I don't know what it is, but every time there is someone that comes up on social media that gets a lot of heat, in most cases, it's just for being human. And I think what happens is the world has made certain things, like the world has turned real life into such a fantasy. Like now we have Instagram where you can kind of just, you can make your life be whatever it wants to be to the world, you know what I'm saying? But that's not what really goes on behind closed doors, because everything is like that nowadays where reality is really not reality. People have a hard time really understanding right from wrong and really dissecting the true principle of things. It's the principle for me, you know? Like social media will see someone, let's say they'll see somebody get back with they'll see somebody get drunk and pass out. And so this person who got drunk and passed out on live, I'm just using an example. Let's say this person gets drunk and goes live all the time and passes out. Well, of course, people on social media will then judge that person. So what'll happen is everyone starts to judge this person. They start to be disgusted with this person. They don't like this person. And just because this person has some untraditional or some unfavorable characteristics, then let's say someone comes and they rob this person who gets drunk on live and falls out. Social media nowadays will still call the robber right for robbing the person just because they don't like them, when we all know in reality to rob somebody is wrong. I'm just trying to use that analogy here. So it's a lot. Lily, hey Lily. Lily says, wait, what did Diamond do? I thought that situation was a skit. Ask him because I'm behind. Oh girl, you real behind, honey. So basically it wasn't a skit. Latrese basically said that she said it was a skit in the beginning because the person who she told that to about Diamond was not supposed to say anything, but they got into it with her and fell out with her, so they maliciously exposed the information. And just for the sake of trying not to embarrass Diamond or trying not to put it out there like that, she just said it was a skit. But she was really upset with Diamond behind the scenes anyway, because Diamond had been kind of moving funny. And so she went to ask for her gun back that she let Diamond borrow when Diamond's son was murdered. She let Diamond borrow a gun of hers. And so in her trying to end her friendship with Diamond behind the scenes, she asked for her gun back. And Diamond has yet to return the gun. So because of her being upset with Diamond about not returning her gun, she just went ahead and exposed it all, Lily girl. Yeah, you gotta catch up, girl. You gotta catch up. Hmm. But yes, y'all, honey, it's a lot. We just got to keep her lifted up in prayer. We got to keep everybody lifted up in prayer because, like I said, I don't like seeing nobody get beat up by social media, because social media will make everyday, everyday mistakes, everyday things that we all go through. They will turn it into something just more than what it is. Wow, I think you mean thanks for being willing to explain. Yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot, Lily girl. You're gonna have to catch up, honey. And I feel so bad because it's like, on one hand, you got this lady, she's making hundreds of $1,000s on Facebook. She's able to change her children's life. She's able to give them things that she was never able to give them before. We literally saw the glow up. Like we saw the glow up. And now it's like everything's being torn back down. Everything's been torn back down. But sometimes God does things to, kind of make you refocus. He does things to kind of give you a sign that it may be time for some change. And so, who knows? It takes this type of stuff to make her realize that, hey, you cannot call everybody your friend. You cannot have everybody working up in your warehouse. You cannot be, dating all types of men. You cannot bring everybody around you and have everybody in your presence. And, maybe this is just God's way of saying, hey, look, sister, you're the chosen one. I have something big in store for you. But before I can take you to the highest level that you're about to go, you need to get rid of some people and clean house, and you need to get it together and refocus. And so maybe this is just what God is doing for her. Maybe he's just trying to get her to refocus and to, really, really get her act together. Because I do see Latrese, continuing to be successful. I think God has some good things in store for her. And so, maybe this is just God's way of saying, hey, look, girl, before I bless you and before I, give you this next blessing that's about to come, I'm gonna need for you to, do some things for me and get some things all the way right. Darlene says, sis, I love you real and you don't dog her and I respect you for that. Yeah, Darlene, I love you too, girl, honey. I'm just here to give some fair commentary, because a lot of times, people get on here and they do reaction videos and they just be so mean. And I ain't judging nobody, because people can do what they want to do, right? But it's kind of like, sometimes and I get it, the purpose of reaction videos is to have the conversation. And sometimes our opinions will get to the big celebrities or the big YouTubers who we're talking about, and they may make the changes. But if you want people to receive what you're saying, you have to say it in love. Lily says, I've been watching the unfortunate fallout between her and her son. Man, it's a lot going on. It's a lot. And the fact that she's still able to get on here every day and go live and still try to live normal, she's strong, because baby, I'll be somewhere depressed. Beatrice says, she's just too messy for me. She won't let anything die. That's the karma. You can't do people all the type of way. Well, and that's, and I can, I can see how people would feel that way. She does have a lot going on, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't call it karma. I would just say that, this is just a wake up call. Because, you know, she's not, she has one thing about Latrese. She has came on here and she has given us all of her, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I can't be mad at her, because one thing about it, she's never been fake, and she's always exposed whatever she needs to expose about herself before anybody else has a chance to. So one thing about her, she gonna spill her own tea, and you gotta respect someone who can spill their own tea. I mean, are there some things that she can take accountability more for? Yeah, but you gotta respect somebody who can air it all out, who can get on here and be that transparent, because some people don't. Cece says, strong as an ox. Yeah, she's strong. Kim says it's all about the money. Well, and that's a good perspective. I will say, like I said, I think I love Latrese, but I think that she's going to have to be willing to make the sacrifice. She's gonna have to sacrifice a couple dollars to get her life in order. Because I think her thing is, and I can't blame her, because she's got such a good thing going with the social media thing. And when you're bringing in that much money, you will get blinded. You don't got used to a certain type of lifestyle, and she's got a whole warehouse, so she probably got, her living expenses are probably through the roof right now. And so I get it. You got to keep grinding, and you get so focused in trying to get the bag that you kind of lose sight of everything else. So I think that, if it can be a little bit, overwhelming to see her go through so much and still, you know, be live every day. That's a lot. And so I feel like she does need to kind of take a step back. Yeah, it may hurt your pockets, Latrese. It may put a dent in you for about a month or so, but just step back, revamp, and come back stronger. Darlene said everything's not karma. Yeah, I don't believe I'm not gonna say I don't believe in karma, but everything is not karma. Everything is not karma, because what she does is she's just living her life being authentically herself. And I have never really seen her do anything malicious. Have I seen her do things that are not right? Yeah. Have I seen her make some decisions that are not right? Yeah. Have I seen her get into a people and she say some things she don't need to be saying? Absolutely. Absolutely. But one thing I can say about her is, I have never seen her maliciously try to tear anyone down. I have only seen her try to help everyone around her. Now, of course, Does she try to help them so they can help her? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But I think her mindset is, let me scratch your back, I scratch yours, so we can all come up together. So one thing I can say about her is she's a giving person, and she's willing to help anybody out who comes around her, as long as they can be genuine and help her. So I can see her heart, and even though she's not made the best decision, and some of these things that are happening to her could be because she has not made the best decisions. Some of the past situations that have played out on live. But would I call it karma? I wouldn't take it that far and call it karma, because to me, karma means that you set back and you maliciously did something and now you're getting your payback for it. I think that she really just been living her life and making mistakes as we all do, and it's just playing out in front of the whole world to see. Darlene says, I just don't understand why people go on this lady live every day and talk down to her. Yeah. They give it to her every day now. Beatrice says, yes, it's understandable about she spilled her tea, but she spills everyone else's tea. Yeah, that's what I said. She has definitely got on here, and she has definitely spoken on, her friend's business, like with her and Diamond. I felt like she did not have to say that Diamond had bad hygiene. That was wrong. And even when her and Coco got into it, I feel like she shared some information about him that she shouldn't have shared. But like I said, I don't think it came from a place of wanting to be malicious. I think it came from a place of being hurt and just wanting to tell everything that's going on in her life. And in the midst of her telling everything that's going on in her life and what she has been going through with these people, she gets to venting and using social media as a venting tool, and it ends up allowing her to spill someone else's tea. And so she needs to learn how to kind of scale back on that. Some things you're gonna just have to go through behind closed doors. Some things you can come to your platform and talk about. Kimmy says, I like the way you relate. Hey, thank you, Kimmy. Thank you. Yeah. Unique says, Tree admitted to working witchcraft. You're working for the devil when doing that. You evil, you get evil. Money is everything. She did a lot of dirt back in her days, and it's coming back on her. Well, I've never seen her admit to doing witchcraft. I think she said, and like I said, I don't watch her lives in their entirety because she does go live for a long time. I will say I have seen her admit to having people approach her, but I think I've seen her state several times that she doesn't deal with witchcraft. She says if she wanted to, she knows people who can work it, but I have seen her be very adamant about not working witchcraft. But yeah, I do agree with you saying about money isn't everything. Money isn't everything. And so that's why I said, she's gonna have to sacrifice a couple of dollars to get her family back on track. Because I feel like her focus is right now on trying to secure the bag, and that's kind of, throwing her off. But I don't think that she's doing witchcraft though. And we all done did dirt. As far as her doing a lot of dirt back in her days, she's been very transparent about that. She used to steal out of stores, sell drugs. I mean, she's been very transparent about what she did. And so, was it right? And will you have to answer for those things? Most definitely. But I wouldn't say the situation is karma. I just think it's her life. Um, Darlene said, God says he will show you all your snakes, and I think that's what's going on. Yeah. Beatrice says, I feel uniquely. I mean, yeah, I'm like I said, unique. Everything you said is not, wrong. I agree with you saying money isn't everything, and but I just be careful when I say people get a karma, because I just don't believe in karma in every situation. Darlene says, hell no. She said, I never said that. She said, hell no, I don't believe that. Yeah, I don't believe she ever worked witchcraft. I never. She's been very adamant about saying that she don't fool with it. She says she's had people approach her with it, and she's known people to work it. But she even said it on her live today. She said she don't deal with no witchcraft, because people were telling her to burn sage and stuff. And I'm not saying sage is witchcraft, but I'm saying what Latrese said. She was saying that she don't deal with stuff like that. So I don't think she was working on witchcraft. But she definitely needs to readjust, but she's human. Mm-mm-mm. Well, thank y'all y'all for tuning in. I need to run to Target in a minute, honey. So I'm about to get off here in a few minutes, child. I need to take y'all. Fun fact: my child loves Target for some reason. But the good thing about Target, Target is expensive, honey. But the good thing about Target is they have the where you can use the quad pay in store. So, honey, some days I just let her go up in Target and have her little Target shopping spree. But, honey, we have to pay that thing, okay? We go up in there with quad pay, break that thing down into 4 payments, okay? So that's gonna be her little activity for the night, Friday night, honey. Take her somewhere, let her feel like she done did something before Mama have her drink or something, because Mama needs some wine. Cece said, "Enjoyed you. Have a blessed one." I enjoyed you too, Cece. Thank you for interacting and supporting me. Thank you. Unique said she said to check out her last video talking to her grandma. The grandma said she did it. I love Target too. Oh, I didn't see that part yet. Like I said, I don't catch all her live, so I didn't know she said that though. Mm. Yes, I love Target. Kimmy says yes, I understand. Yeah. Well, I hope she ain't dealing with that type of stuff because this ain't the right time for that. But I think Latrese, she'll get it together. She will get it together. She has overcome some things. She's been through a lot. She's been through more than the average person, and she gonna get it together. Darlene said, "Love you, Queen, and keep doing your stories." Love you too, girl. I'ma keep on going, honey. Well, I'm finna get out of here, y'all. I'm gonna take my little one to Target, honey. We gonna have us a little Target run before I wind down and drink me some wine tonight and watch a little shows. So I want everyone to have a blessed weekend. Be safe. Let's pray for Latrice. Let's hope she pulls it together. And thank you all for tuning in. Kimmy says she loves her kids. Yes, she loves her children. She gonna get it together. Unique says nice channel. I've subscribed. Thank you for subscribing, Unique, and stay blessed. Yes, everyone stay blessed. I love you all. Thank you all for riding out with me for these last hour and 21 minutes. And you all have a good day. See y'all later. Mwah, mwah.